Let me start with something very clear. Bangladeshis are not against India. Bangladeshis are not against Indian people. Bangladeshis are against Indian hegemony. And these are not the same thing. Criticizing a state's policy is not hatred. Questioning power is not xenophobia. If that were true, then criticizing America would make you anti-American, and criticizing China would make you anti-Chinese. That logic simply doesn't hold. Bangladesh was born in 1971 through immense sacrifice. Millions dead, 10 million refugees, countless women violated. Yes, India supported Bangladesh militarily in 1971, not out of special love for the Bangladeshis. But India had a huge stake too. But still, Bangladesh has acknowledged that support over and over again. But gratitude does not mean lifelong submission. Liberation does not mean permanent obedience. History does not freeze power relations in time. What Bangladeshis actually oppose? Bangladeshis oppose structural dominance, not culture or people. Bangladesh opposes the fact that your government is harboring the terrorist, fascist, and the butcher of Bangladesh, a convicted murderer, Sheikh Hasina, who is plotting against the country openly using your support. Let's talk facts. Since 2000, over 1,200 Bangladeshi civilians have been killed by Indian Border Security Force BSF, according to human rights groups and Bangladeshi government data. The real figure is much higher. Let that sink in. This makes the India-Bangladesh border one of the deadliest borders in the world during peacetime. We are not at war, are we? These victims were unarmed, poor villagers, farmers, or alleged cattle smugglers, often shot without trial. Even Indian human rights organizations has criticized this policy. This is not anti-India rhetoric. This is documented reality. India controls 54 transboundary rivers flowing into Bangladesh. Key example, Farakka Barrage. Since its unlawful operation, northern Bangladesh has faced desertification, southern regions face increased flooding, fisheries, agriculture, and livelihoods were destroyed. Despite decades of talks, no comprehensive water sharing agreement exists for most rivers. Water is life, and unilateral control over water is power, and the Indian government is misusing it as a weapon of mass destruction. Bangladesh imports over $16 billion worth of goods annually from India. India imports less than $2 billion from Bangladesh. This imbalance isn't accidental. Non-tariff barriers, port restrictions, delay and bureaucratic hurdles. A friendly neighbor does not economically choke the smaller one. Now, when Bangladesh is finding alternative sellers at a cheaper price, your government is portraying it as a threat. India is deeply involved in Bangladeshi internal political dynamics, security narratives, intelligence cooperation that lacks transparency. When a smaller country's democratic choices are influenced by a larger neighbor's strategic interest, that is not friendship, that is the asymmetry of power. Let Bangladesh breathe. This is not unique to Bangladesh. Nepal has protested Indian blockades. Sri Lanka has pushed back against economic leverage. Maldives openly campaigns on India out. Are all of these countries suddenly anti-Indian people? Or are they responding to the same regional power behavior? A simple thought experiment. If China killed over 1,200 Indian civilians at the border, controlled India's rivers, dominated its trade, and interfered in its politics, would Indians stay silent? Of course not, and they shouldn't. So, why is Bangladesh expected to? A message to Indians watching this. This is not an attack on you. This is an invitation to distinguish people from power, news from propaganda, culture from coercion, friendship from dominance. A strong India does not need weak neighbors. A confident India does not fear equal partnerships. Bangladesh does not want hostility. Bangladesh wants dignity, not charity but equality, not validation, not approval, just sovereignty without pressure. If that makes some people uncomfortable, then the problem is not Bangladesh. The problem is how power is being exploited.